So there has been some pretty serious challenges for several reasons. The first one is, as we are very pioneer in this field, many hotels or MICE industry players are still questioning what is the real impact of food waste on their operation. What quantities are they really wasting, and how does that translate in loss? Simply because they have never been through the process of actually implementing a system to quantify it. So they are kind of doubtful when we say that it can reach like astronomical levels, like up to $800 million a year for large operations. This is, as there are not that many studies, they're still questioning. The other issue is that they are currently using some financial KPIs, key performance indicators, that are actually incomplete, like the food cost percentage. So the food cost percentage will just reflect how much you purchase and how much you sell, what are your margins, and if it's good enough, then they won't question their actual operations. They're like, well, we're doing good, this is our budget, we're fine. But what was mind-blowing is a recent conversation I had with the director of F&B of a large hotel, and I was like, well, this is the situation, this is what we are targeting. Those are the different steps. We were feeling like that they were doing it, but not like fully. And then I was asking, well, why is that? And he told me, well, look, if I cut my food cost by 3 points, I'm in big trouble, because that means that first, I have been operating this way for so many years, and second, it means that next year, my owning company will tell me, well, you have now less budget to perform the same task, and they are not willing to cut, to compromise this buffer, this nice cushion actually that food waste represent. And that really bugs me, because we need to find ways to accommodate the, for instance, hotel operators in order to not disrupt too much, but just well enough so they can save a bit, show that they are doing good, but we cannot reach the full potential, which is a huge frustration. So we're now trying to move towards working directly with hotel owners, because we're actually defending their financial interests directly. And I think that fundamentally the first step is to accept there is an issue, and not believe that, okay, this is common practice, everybody is doing it, is fine. Just to accept that food waste is an issue is the first very important step. Second step is actually to run some very basic awareness raising, I would say, activities with your own staff, because most of the staff are kind of willing to help. They just, if they don't know why we would run something like that and what is expected from them, then nothing will change. And the third most important aspect, I would say, is to start quantifying it. So be transparent, I would say, courageous to have a hard look at your operation, and start with a very simple system in one of your outlets, so it doesn't require crazy investment. Very simple, couple of different bins to identify what sort of food waste is being is going to the bin, and then you will see by yourself, because you can easily then compare quantities with purchasing prices and have an evaluation of quantity of money that is actually being wasted. I'm initially coming from the hotel sustainability certification world, and then I was working with the UN as a consultant on greening the hotel industry, and audits after audits I was realizing, hey, this is crazy, because food waste is considered as normal waste, like tissues or plastic bottles, even though we're talking about natural resources that is vital for us. And then I realized that there was almost no studies that have been conducted in this specific industries, and no companies actually doing anything about that. So again, like to share an example, when I first convinced a hotel to start doing it, I talked to the chef, and I was like, chef, how many kilos do you think you waste per day? And it was like, well, probably 15 to 20 kilos. And we started to work, and first implementation was 200 plus kilos. So there is a huge gap in perception between what even those in charge of this very specific field think the situation is, and what the situation actually is.